It's said that many hands make light the work. This project proved it. Over 1,000 volunteers worked day and night to make this happen, doing anything that was asked of them with a smile. Let's meet a few of them.
When I was told I would be managing the volunteers, I was obviously thrilled at first and at the same time terrified because I knew it was going to be a major endeavor. I think my biggest fear when I was told I'd be doing the volunteers was how do I find people that are going to be that interested and they're going to sign up and show up for these shifts.
Typically they want us kind of going around there for now.
The next challenge after kind of getting the website up and running and people starting to respond and sign up was I got numerous phone calls and emails from a lot of groups and companies and teams, all dying to have their corporation, their employees, whatever, come and support this effort. And also, I think one of the biggest challenges was keeping up with the communication. When we reached 800, 900 volunteers on the website registered, we had to stay in communication with them, make sure they knew, we got their request, to get back to everybody to let them know they were confirmed for the shift that they signed up for. Priorities once we got on site were getting them from the high school, because they would show up at the high school to register and take a shuttle bus to the site. And then making sure we kept people busy, making sure that they weren't sitting around, they weren't bored, and that rarely was an issue. Of course, the TV show kept taking volunteers for different special filming events, so that was always, every now and then I would lose like 20, 30 of my volunteers at one shot, because they were going to go do a film event. For the volunteers that are watching the show, all I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys were outstanding. You gave it your all. You were so much fun to work with. I mean, we really had a lot of fun working together. I wish we could do it again, but maybe not right away. I'm still recovering myself. But really just thank you for your commitment and your service to the build here and to Dale and Just Soup Ministry. Thank you so much.
I think it's a great show. It was a great opportunity to be involved in a great event in Sussex County and to give back to the community. Primarily what I did as a volunteer, I worked at Cape Henlopen High School, so I was checking in both volunteers and the construction and skilled trade people as well. First thing they wanted to know was, what am I going to do when I get out there? And as a volunteer, you do whatever they need you to do. The volunteers were really fantastic. They came out, they were excited about getting out to the project. What was even more exciting is when they came back from volunteering and got off the bus, they came to the table and asked, can I volunteer again? I want to get out again. It was just, and they didn't want to leave. It was just a project that everybody was really excited about. There are people in our community that are in need, especially during these economic times and this downturn. And those of us that have the ability to give back, whether it's physical or financial or just to give back food, it's important that we're involved and we give back to our community.
The Shell Brothers is actually building a home for me here in Lewis. And so the team and the crew were all talking about what was coming up, and we jumped right on board. We figured we'd given them such a hard time with the build that maybe we better pay it back. But, in particular, I've worked with soup kitchens and food pantries for 20 years plus, raising money for them. And so when they brought up the fact that they were doing this for Just Soup, I had to jump on board. The typical day was a little bit chaotic in the sense that we never knew what had to be completed. We only knew what the deadline was. And so it was either a very rushed job or we knew that we had a day to work on a particular project. My favorite job was when I took a break and grabbed a tray filled with water and went out and distributed water to the other workers, because what was wonderful about that was you got an opportunity to see the community. And for me, being a new member of this community, it was really terrific to see how they all came out, no one complained, everyone smiled. A project like this is wonderful because for a soup kitchen or food pantry, any of us could be in one of those lines. And so it reminds all of us how fortunate we are. I would say hats off to the Shell team, because These projects don't happen unless you have good leadership, and they were remarkable. And everyone felt like they were part of a family. And when you take any major task that needs to be done, you have to break it down into small parts and let everyone do their part, and so they feel fulfilled at the end of the day. And Shell did an excellent job of doing that.
I volunteered as a substitute school bus driver for Kate. And when they didn't need me, I thought, well, I'll see how I might fit in. I went on the site and I saw things that needed to be done. I just jumped in, started doing it, and it escalated from there. What it is, it gave the community an opportunity to come out on a volunteer basis and give their all. The thing that impressed me so much was the way that people worked together. I didn't hear a harsh word, I didn't hear argument, and things just flowed so well. It was managed well. It was the most awesome thing I've ever been involved in my life.
I was here every day at the project. I would get here between 7 and 8 every day, and it was really wherever I was needed, whether it was to trash, whether it was to tour the media, whether it was handing out food, anything they needed every day, and I was here as late as they needed. There's so many great experiences about this, like getting off the bus every day, coming from Cape Henlopen High School. When you got off the bus and the excitement behind all the volunteers, it was so fulfilling. Like, I have to say, when the project was over, I was sad you didn't come with your cheerleading squad to come work as a community to build the ranch. We're a very tight-knit community. For an example, when we needed water and soda for the contractors, for the volunteers, we were running low, we put Facebook status out, and the outpour, people were texting and pulling up on Route 9 to say, here, I went to the Giant and got all their Pepsi products. And so the outpour of the community is just, I'm very proud to be a part of this community. For those who are watching, this is about a community, and it doesn't just stop with the show. You can volunteer in so many ways. It's about making that time. If you say, I've always said that I was going to do it when I retire, and I realized, okay, that's still a long way away, I can do it right now. And volunteer.